Good day, folks. Today I'm just going down to a Ministry of Supply factory from the Second World War. It was a gunpowder factory, and I'm just going to go check it out. There's some interesting facts about it, and there should be some wildlife around it as well. Might be some adders, you never know, so go check that out. So it's in a wildlife reserve, this place. Closed in 1945. So it's surrounded by farm, and there's a few residential buildings around here, so but it is a nature reserve, so let's see what we'll find. There's quite a few buildings here, and one of the magazines at the gunpowder factory exploded, I think in 1941 or 1942, and it was down to a worker there putting out a cigarette. Nowadays you wouldn't dream of putting a cigarette near gunpowder, but people didn't care so much back then, I didn't think, and the guy involved did perish, but apparently there is a bit of a crater in the ground from where it blew up, so we'll see. So already I've come up to the first building. Looks like it's complete. Well, that's awesome. Wow, a skull. I think that's a sheep's skull. Looks like it. Some eye sockets on him. Right. Good job I've got my Wellington boots on. It's a bit dark in here, I'll get my head torch out. It is muddy. Very muddy. Low ceilings in here. But this was the place that manufactured a lot of the gunpowder in the Second World War, didn't it? It was for grenade fuses, I believe. Glass bottles on the floor, people giving up their shoes. Should have worn Wellingtons. Don't know what the working conditions would have been like in it back in the day, but don't know if these were stores or where it was actually made or what. Not really seen the anatomy of this place. Not much on it about it online, only that there was an incident here. Wow, it's quite amazing in here. Concrete plinth. That's pretty cool. Wonder what would have been on here. Actually, do not know. Like I say, I've never seen the anatomy of these buildings. But you wouldn't even know it was here. It's just completely hidden from the road. All you can see is the forest. But people have been frightened by snakes around here, so mind where I step. If anyone knows what was on these concrete plinths, let me know. Must have had to have been about 4 foot tall. That's crazy. I can barely stand up in here. I think that's the same again as the other side. Just goes round to a dead end. Yeah, must have just been a storage magazine, I don't know. It's just off a nature trail. Stalactites. Spider. There is the odd cave spider in here as well. Apparently they're a biting spider, but harmless. Right, we'll go up, try and work our way up to the top. Unless there's more under here. There is. Just looking more at the ground than where I'm going, to be honest, because this is Adder's territory, not mine. What an old building, eh? I don't know, these must have been the magazines where it was stored, I'm not sure. I don't know if there's roofs on top of here or what, but it was made by ICI. All the gunpowder is was an ICI factory, Imperial Chemicals, commissioned by the Ministry of Supply during the Second World War. And Southwest Scotland was really good for having stuff like this, because at the start of the war it was out of bombing range, so the Germans couldn't have enough fuel in the planes, or the tanks weren't big enough to carry the plane over here to fly and drop bombs. So that's why there's a lot around here. I say a lot. There's a huge nitroglycerine factory not that far from here, but that'd be one for another day. There's miles of buildings around there, so that'll take a while. But that's just one building. Gonna go to the building adjacent to this, see what's in that. So that's just back round to the skull. Right, so keep exploring. Dark and dingy in here. Oh, bit of an echo. Tried to research these buildings, but I couldn't find nothing on them. So I assumed the machinery that was helping to make gunpowder was situated on these plinths. Very risky business, gunpowder manufacturer. So ICI that made it used to see them, they used to make tins of paint, imperial chemicals. But yeah, I think they started in stuff like this, gunpowder, nitroglycerine, things like that. It is dark in here. Get the torch on. I'm finding loads of old bottles. I don't know if they're original or how old they are. Bits of iron in the ground. Machinery was obviously taken and scrapped after the war. But nature's gladly making use of this place, which is good to see. Crane flies. Yeah, eaten alive. An old power cable, I think. Yep. How high the ceilings are as well. There are more power cables up there as well. Not much left. All the doors and everything would have been taken because of the steel shortage after the Second World War. They all got acquisitioned, if you like, and melted down and restarted the production of cars again instead of tanks. wouldn't mind seeing where the blast was. I don't know if that's asbestos actually. There was a walking club that went around here and found a couple of male adders basking in the sun. It's not very sunny today, so I might not see any. Wouldn't mind getting one on film though. Just gonna move on to another bit now. I think this is all the same. There's a couple more buildings over here. Check those ones out. There's a bird's nest in that vent. I can just hear it. Don't want to disturb it. Another nest down there. It's not in use. And a pipe, which has had another nest in it. I think there's more under here. Oh no, that's just a walkway through to the other side. Old railway embankment over there. Doubt there's any track left. So apparently this was built with trees around it, so it would have been fairly camouflaged. And I'm not sure, I don't think it was bombed near here at all. Wasn't any, couldn't have any findings on it. Any explosion here happened as the fault of one of the workers who sadly died as a result, which I suppose we didn't really know about these things in those days. Well, I suppose they did. Spark goes near gunpowder, it goes boom, but see, that person wasn't thinking. Chucking a cigarette on it. I think if someone done that nowadays, probably get a Darwin Award. Because they're educated better on that thing these days. Right, there's another building around here. Just going to get to that. That was all what I just visited. I do quite like the architecture of it. It's very industrial. I love it.